Okay, so you knew I wasn't going to miss another opportunity to be with Davo.
Hi guys.
We were just sitting and chatting, having a coffee. His wife Noe makes really good coffee. You got to be careful when you're dating here, and if you're thinking of getting engaged and getting married and all that, there's I think, a significant problem with some really unfair debt here in Thailand. It seems like. Yeah, David's agreeing. So. David, so what kind of interest rates and loan conditions are you kind of seeing that might be somewhat common here in Thailand that maybe might in particular be surprising to a Westerner?
Yeah, I've got a friend who's got a friend who's borrowed for one of these lenders, and
Mm.
they charge like 5% monthly and 5% interest monthly. That works out 60% a year.
You know, and I hadn't thought about that. When he said 60% a year, I almost fell out of my chair. I mean, I didn't. I mean, it's not hard math, but I just hadn't thought of it that way. That's
And if you fall behind on the payments and you can't afford to make the payments, they can um, take your car from you. You got like an agreement with them. If you fall behind on the payments, you got to put something up,
collateral.
Collateral type, something where they can come and take from you, so they don't lose out.
Wow.
Yeah, so they charge a high interest because there's a percentage of people that do the runner, and so the high interest rate sort of compensates for people who do runners.
Oh, people skipping out on their loan,
Yeah.
which in the States is really hard to do, but in Thailand maybe
Yeah.
that happens maybe a tad more often possibly.
Yeah, because I think all these loan sharks are illegal, and you're not supposed to be doing it.
Okay.
So yeah, so they compensate by charging the high interest rates. People say, oh, 5%, that's not much, but if you're borrowing $500,000 or $1 million, 5% monthly, that's quite a lot of interest.
I'll do the math and I'll throw a number on the channel
Yeah.
when I put the video up. I'll cheat. But Dave's actually even better with math than I am, but we'll save our brain cells. Still morning. But yeah, okay, so that's a lot of money. Yeah, because I've seen that where I've seen some, and then this is not uncommon. I've seen people, and I know their job. I know roughly what their salary is, and I have some, not just a hint, some information about that person. I know them a little bit peripherally, and I know they don't make a ton of money, and they have an 800,000 baht car.
Yeah.
They're living in a million baht home, and by any conventional wisdom that I'm familiar with, they can't really quote unquote afford those things.
Yeah.
But they've got them, and they do these loans.
Yeah.
And now, Davo, some of these loans, I don't know if they all are. If you know, please tell us. I've heard some of these are kind of open-ended. That Thais consider some of these life loans. They'll just be under the gun for decades.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
The person I know, this person only lends to foreigners.
Oh.
Because they know they got a pension. Most of them have got a pension coming in. They got to have that $2,000 or whatever it is a month. They know they're going to have like 50,000-60,000 baht coming in each month. Where a Thai person won't have that. They'd be lucky to have 15,000 baht coming in a month.
You're right about that. 15,000 is a very good Thai salary.
They're not going to lend a $1 million baht to a Thai because they know they'll never get it back in a lifetime.
So this particular loan person is kind of targeting more of the expats here, and doing that, and then they'll just take the truck or car if you don't pay it, or motorcycle.
Some expats can't
taking a man's motorcycle, that's low.
Some expats can't afford to pay because they've either been scammed by their partners or they got a drinking problem or drug problem, and they don't budget properly. So
see a lot of that.
They fall behind, and they'll lose their car or something that they put up as an asset. So it's sad, but
and we'll verify that. But if that's true, then that would mean that you're looking at
12%.
Yeah, 12 to 18% per year as your bigger loan. I'll bet that's it, and I'll bet that's a lot. I'll now we're on a little bit of conjecture. I'll try and verify that before the video is put up, and I'll put a little note on the screen. I'll talk to Fawn about it, but. Yeah. So that's really back to the key point. Thanks,
Yeah.
Davo. So, for a lucky guy like Davo who's got such a nice wife, and he's weighing in on that. He's Rooster's
Who's that?
agreeing with you, and I feel lucky too. Fun and I are doing really well, and so, you know, that's great. But when you're new in a relationship, because you just want to really kind of qualify and make sure you're in a good situation, because everybody says they're in a good
Mm.
situation. Everybody says, "Well, I don't have any debt," and that's a common thing. They will say they don't have any debt, and it turns out they do, and they might have quite a bit, and they're embarrassed, or it's private, or they're just not going to share that up front. And you want to ferret that out, because those debts, that could be, million and a
Yeah.
half, 2 million baht, and that's not nothing.
Time you pay it off,
Yeah.
you're paying double, triple.
A friend of mine paid it off, and his wife went and got more debt. And he's in the process of paying that off, and that's really painful for him. And he's bankrupted, burned up most of the savings from his pension. I think he had 4 pensions coming in at one
Oh my
point,
God.
and he's now down to 2 or 3, and his pensions get smaller by the year based on the country
Yeah.
he's retired from. He can't do it again. Now, if you're with a scammer, and I'm not saying he is or isn't, I'm just saying if you were with a scammer, they won't care. They'll get all that debt. That debt may be real, it may be fictitious, and then when your pension's all burned up, you might find yourself being kicked out, or with the knife sticking out of your chest, nude in a hotel room somewhere, which is the lesser good of the two scenarios.
We get,
That's really helpful, David. That is super helpful. I want to say everyone on the channel appreciates Davo and his 14 years experience in Thailand. 12 or 14? What is it?
coming up to 13.
13.
In
All
the
right.
middle.
You're in the middle. 13. 13 years in Thailand. So Davo, thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
We
Thank you.
we appreciate it. Here we go.
ขอบคุณครับ
Gang Ma. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a whole lot done here. It's pretty windy and rough. I'll see what the audio is like, but and the wind's going to make my hair look absolutely ridiculous. So you can laugh at me. But I just want to add a couple quick things to this video on debt with Davo that I stumbled across this morning. I forgot that I'd saved this, so I'm putting it together. It's going to be a nice little video. Thank you, Davo. But man, there's another risk here we didn't talk about. I'll throw it in right now. So you have to be careful when you're starting to get serious with the lady. And then we mentioned in here, make sure we don't have debt and all that. And you want to really do that. And like I say, they will tend to deny it. And I think they're just embarrassed about it, or whatever. But that's common. But let's say they admit they have it. Okay, there's the other scenario that we don't talk about on this video. Let's say you're dating someone seriously, you're thinking of doing a cultural or a official marriage, or helping them financially, or whatever it is, and you want to really try and understand if that's a real debt. And that sounds terrible to say, but if they say they have debt, try to ferret out if they're embarrassed when they say it, or if it sounds like they're being a little too willing to talk about it. It could be a fake debt, and there's a fake debt scam that's pretty common. I hate to say something negative, but in kind of a worst case, you can end up, and sadly I've seen this, and I've literally seen it with my own eyes, and you can end up paying the real husband money to your fiance or wife, and they'll let you marry him and everything. You can have a wife, and you can even have an officially registered wife. Ooh, because most marriages here, and Thai to Thai in particular, they're not. There's just cultural. So the real husband will sit back, and he'll let you do the real marriage to her and everything. And then you'll pay him as the loan representative. And so one test is to say, hey, I'll consolidate this loan. We can go and talk to some financial people and maybe negotiate the rate lower and stuff. And your Thai lady won't like that. Anything that lowers the rate, talk about negotiating a lower rate and getting a better deal. If they start fighting you on that right away, that could
indicate the loan's not real. What you don't do is go to an actual bank and then borrow the money to then quote unquote pay off the fake debt, because they'll take your money. And at that point, they may figure they've milked you, and depending on your personal circumstances, things might change for you, and change for the worse. I don't want to go into I just don't feel like any more negative content right now. I'm just not going to say any more, but it can get quite ugly. I've seen it. So the real debts are a problem, and the fake ones are a bigger problem, I'm sorry to say. In general, this is rare though. Now, if you're these things happen when you're dealing with bad people, obviously. Like Fawn, I have zero risk of this. If I went to borrow money, Fawn would chew me out and throw a shoe at my head. I like it. There's a guy on the channel that he talked about that we're kind of all been joking about the lady that offered Fawn money to stop dating me so she could kind of try and take over. That guy said that his wife, when a lady offered something sort of similar about him and his wife to buy him or whatever, he goes, my wife said she wanted to hit him with a stick. That would make me laugh. I could just picture this little Thai lady with a stick wanting to whack this other lady. And that's what Fawn would do to me. If I tried to borrow money or do something stupid, Fawn would hit me with a stick. And that's a good lady. And they really are here, and you really can find them. And all the... this is getting rough. I feel like I'm one of those hurricane reporters in Florida. So here we are, 55-mile-an-hour winds. Anyway, so I got to wrap this up. This is getting ugly, but you get the idea. Get a good lady. Find a good lady. My good lady, all her friends are nice ladies too, and they wouldn't be involved in any of this. The guy that got himself into this really ugly loan situation made some really, really major mistakes and walked over giant red flag, more than red flags. He was flat out told some things up front and just ignored it. So, and that's everyone's choice, okay? Everyone's choice. And you can lose your head here and kind of get distracted away from reality and make some really bad choices. Don't do that. Stay in reality. Keep a couple sharp friends around you. Make some Thai friends. Don't have just expat friends only. Make some good Thai friends. They're out there. Generally speaking, the Thais are very good-hearted people. If they see you being scammed and you're a good Jai person all the time, they'll probably eventually try and tip you off in some way. I've also seen that personally. They'll be uncomfortable with what's happening to you. They won't like it. They'll be offended at the other person making Thais look bad. There are a lot of really good people here. You just can't be a moron. I was a moron before. I am a former moron. I'm a reformed moron. Okay, let's reformed morons unite. Okay, hey, don't make all the mistakes I did. Don't do that. All right, good luck. Hey, boy, I'm missing you. I ordered this. Well, actually, I didn't order it. Fawn ordered it for me because, like, I wouldn't know what the hell to call this, but it's like a corned beef hash in Thailand. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. It tastes, yours is still better, but man, this is super good. Anyways, I'm really missing you, pal. Hey, I hope The Rock and Walden are doing okay. And see you soon, pal. Love you. No, thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.